Welcome to the history content, where lost empires, forgotten wisdom, and untold stories come to life. And today, we journey to the heart of the Sahara. Buried beneath the golden sands, hidden within the winding mud brick alleys of an ancient African city lies one of the greatest forgotten treasures of human history, the Great Library of Timbuktu. Once a shining beacon of knowledge, this legendary center of Islamic learning preserved more than just words. It held the soul of a civilization. But how did this majestic library rise, and why was it nearly lost to time? Let's dive into the mesmerizing history of Timbuktu. The name alone evokes mystery. Located in present-day Mali, this remote city flourished in the 14th and 15th centuries during the height of the Malian Empire. It began as a trading post near the Niger River, but soon gold, salt, and caravans of camels turned it into a cultural crossroads. A gateway between North Africa and sub-Saharan Africa. But Timbuktu wasn't just about wealth, it became something much more powerful. A city of knowledge. By the 15th century, under the Songhai Empire, Timbuktu transformed into a world-renowned center for Islamic learning. At its heart stood the Sankore University, one of the oldest universities in the world. Alongside it were other madrasas, mosques, and private libraries, housing thousands upon thousands of handwritten manuscripts. Subjects ranged far beyond religion. Astronomy, mathematics, law, medicine, philosophy, poetry, agriculture, and even women's rights were studied and debated. Timbuktu's scholars were deeply connected to the Islamic Golden Age, building upon the works of great minds like Al-Ghazali, Ibn Sina, and Al-Farabi. It is said that, at its peak, over 25,000 students studied in Timbuktu, making it a true African counterpart to Oxford, Baghdad, and Cordoba. The soul of Timbuktu was its handwritten in Arabic and African languages. These books weren't just records. They were living wisdom. Some were copied by scholars. Others were rare, original works authored in Timbuktu itself. Families guarded them for generations, passing them from father to son as sacred heritage. They were kept in homes, mosques, and hidden vaults, not just for reading, but for preserving identity. These texts proved that Africa had a literary, intellectual, and philosophical tradition long before colonial powers arrived. But as quickly as it rose, Timbuktu's light began to dim. In 1591, Moroccan invaders led by Judar Pasha conquered the city. The libraries were looted, scholars were exiled or killed, and the knowledge network collapsed. Centuries of instability followed. War, colonialism, and poverty took their toll. By the 20th century, Timbuktu had become a symbol of isolation. To the outside world, it was seen as a myth, a city lost in the desert, and the manuscripts, forgotten, buried in sand, locked in wooden boxers, hidden in family homes, waiting. In 2012, a new threat emerged. Islamist militants seized Timbuktu, threatening to burn every un-Islamic manuscript they found. In an act of courage, local librarians, families, and smugglers risked their lives. Over 350,000 manuscripts were secretly evacuated to Bamako, in iron trunks and rice sacks. It was one of the greatest rescue missions for knowledge in modern history. Timbuktu's library was more than books on dusty shelves. It was proof that Africa had written history, that Islamic scholarship reached the heart of the continent, that the pursuit of knowledge transcends borders and time. In a world where so much knowledge has been erased or rewritten, the manuscripts of Timbuktu whisper truths we cannot afford to forget. They challenge the myth of a dark continent. They tell us that wisdom was once carried on camelback across deserts to a place where knowledge was sacred. If this story moved you, don't let it be forgotten. Like this video, subscribe to the history content, and share this forgotten chapter of Islamic and African history. More untold stories are waiting. Until next time, keep exploring the past to understand the present.